Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. If you're the kind of person who loves cutting through the noise to see how things actually work, well, you are exactly where you need to be. Today, we're setting up the ultimate plumbing showdown, grease traps versus garbage disposals. We're pulling all our insights straight from a really thorough North Shore plumbing guide to finally settle the debate about what should actually go down our kitchen sinks, and more importantly, what happens once it gets there.
Okay, let's just jump right in. Does your garbage disposal actually handle kitchen grease? There's this huge misconception out there, and honestly, I used to think this too, that if you just run your disposal, the grinding blades somehow magically make fat, oil, and grease vanish into thin air. We just kind of assume that if the waste is chopped up, the problem is completely gone, right? Well, as we're going to see from our source today, that myth is literally costing homeowners a fortune in sewer line repairs, and this is super relevant right now. Lately, especially in places like the North Shore, we're all cooking and eating at home way more often. That means a ton more fats, oils, and food scraps are ending up in our drains, causing a massive spike in severe blockages.
Which brings us to our first section, the rising plumbing problem of cooking at home.
And here is contender number 1, the garbage disposal.
Now, this is a device that the vast majority of us rely on for our total sink waste management, but pay close attention to how it's actually defined. A garbage disposal is a device that grinds soft food waste into smaller particles so they can pass through plumbing more easily. Did you catch that? Soft food waste. For a lot of homes, this is totally fine for everyday kitchen scraps. It's built for one very specific mechanical job, chopping up solid chunks into smaller pieces.
But, and this is a massive but, here is its fatal flaw. Disposals are not grease control devices. Honestly, it doesn't matter if you run those blades for 10 minutes straight or how totally pulverized that leftover dinner gets. A disposal does absolutely nothing to stop grease. The grease just slips right past it and goes deep into your plumbing.
Let's trace exactly how this nightmare plays out. Step 1, the grease goes down the drain, usually as a warm liquid. Step 2, as it moves away from your warm sink, it cools off inside those dark pipes. Step 3, it completely solidifies and coats the inside of your plumbing like thick plaque. And finally, step 4, all that buildup chokes off the water flow and causes massive, nasty backups. The guide notes this is a really severe risk if you have older plumbing or live in a highly populated residential area. To make matters worse, all those little food bits your disposal just chopped up, they get stuck in that sticky grease. It's literally like you're accidentally building a dam inside your own pipes.
All right, moving right along to contender number 2, the grease trap. Since the disposal completely drops the ball on grease, we've got to look at a system engineered specifically to stop the problem at the source. And the difference is right there in the definition. A grease trap is a device designed to separate grease from wastewater before it ever leaves your property's plumbing. So unlike the disposal that just shoves the problem down the line, a grease trap is all about capture and containment. It acts like a strict bouncer for your sewer system.
So how does it actually pull this off without any spinning blades? Well, it's all about fluid dynamics. Step 1, your sink's wastewater flows into the trap. Step 2, these internal walls, called baffles, combined with a specifically calculated retention time, physically slow the water way down. Step 3, because grease is naturally lighter than water, slowing things down gives the fat and oil time to float to the very top and separate from the rest. And step 4, the clear water underneath just keeps flowing right on down into the drains and out to the sewer. It's a remarkably clever, totally passive piece of engineering.
Now, there is a catch. Because it's so incredibly effective at keeping the grease on your property, grease traps require ongoing maintenance, regular inspection, and professional pumping. The trap doesn't make the grease magically disappear. It just holds onto it. So if you have one of these, you absolutely have to stick to a strict service schedule to make sure that trap doesn't overflow.
Let's bring it all together for the ultimate matchup, disposals versus grease traps.
Just to make sure we've totally nailed down the difference, let's put them side by side. On the left, the garbage disposal. Its whole job is handling food solids. Its main impact is reducing solid waste blockages, and all it needs from you is proper daily use so you don't jam the motor. On the right, the grease trap. Its primary target is strictly fats and oils. Its main impact is stopping grease buildup in your pipes, and it absolutely requires periodic physical pumping. They are completely different tools meant for completely different types of kitchen waste.
So, what's the best fit for your home? Well, you've got to take a brutally honest look at how much you cook and how much grease goes into your sink. If you're doing a lot of heavy grease-generating cooking, we're talking frying, cooking heavy meats, using tons of oil, then a grease trap might actually be necessary to protect your property. But if you're just dealing with moderate waste, a standard garbage disposal paired with some really disciplined kitchen habits is usually all you need.
Speaking of habits, let's get into the playbook, Homeowner Best Practices.
First things first, and I literally cannot stress this enough, always check your local rules. The guide explicitly mentions that North Shore regions can have specific guidance on what should and shouldn't enter drains. What's perfectly fine in one town might be strictly prohibited in the next, which is super important to know if you're planning a kitchen renovation or putting in new plumbing equipment.
But regardless of your current setup, let's fire off 3 incredibly easy sink habits that will absolutely save you from an expensive visit from the plumber. Number 1, scrape your plates into the trash. Don't rinse heavy grease and solids down the sink. Number 2, never ever pour cooking oil down the drain. Just pour it into a throwaway container and toss it. And number 3, this is a fantastic pro tip. Always run cold water when you're using your garbage disposal. You might think hot water helps melt the fat, but nope. Cold water actually keeps the fat solid so the disposal can break them up and flush them away, rather than melting them only for them to harden deeper down in your pipes.
But hey, even if you're being super careful, you have to know the red flags. Watch out for these early warning signs that grease is already building up dangerously. Drains that are suddenly emptying way slower than usual. Unpleasant odors lingering around your kitchen. Clogs that just keep coming back no matter what you try to clear them. And the really alarming one, a literal sewer smell coming right out of your drains.
If you're dealing with any of those warning signs, the advice from the source is crystal clear. Talk to a licensed plumber. Seriously, don't just dump a bunch of harsh chemicals down there hoping for the best. A professional can help you figure out if you just need a revised disposal setup, a heavy-duty maintenance cleaning, or if your home actually requires a grease trap-style interception plan to handle your specific cooking volume.
Wow, okay, we have definitely covered a lot of ground today. From busting the myth of the magic garbage disposal to the clever engineering of the grease trap and the daily habits you need to protect your plumbing. So I'll leave you with this one question to ponder the next time you're cleaning up after dinner. Is your kitchen sink currently hiding a greasy secret down in those pipes, or are you genuinely equipped to handle the flow? Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and keep learning.